Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Arpit Shah and today I'm going to explain to you how final keyword works in Java. In Java, final keyword can be used in three different scopes. It can be either applied to variable, it can be applied to methods, or it can be applied to class. So in this tutorial, we will look at all three scopes one by one with an example. So let's start with variable. So as you can see on the screen, I have created a main class. Here we will create a variable I which is of integer type. I'm going to assign it a value which is 5. Let's print this value out so we can see that during the initialization of I, we have actually assigned value 5 to it. If I execute this code, you will see 5 printed. Now these kind of variables are called mutable variables, which means once they are initialized, we can still change their value after the initialization is completed. The way you do it is take this variable I and then you can assign a new value. So either you can call it I++, which is I equals I plus 1, or you can say I equals new value, which is 6. So we can print out and you will see that I value will change after reassignment. So I++ is adding 1 to the original I, which is 6, and then I equals 6 also means 6. So it is working as expected. Now what final keyword does to variable? So if I add a final in front of this variable, it makes this variable immutable, which means once the variable is initialized, you cannot reassign any new value to this variable. So as you see, compiler is now throwing an error. And if you look at the error, it says final variable cannot be assigned new value now. So we cannot do what we just did with mutable variable. So I'm going to delete this code now. The other thing you need to be aware of that if I don't assign any value to I during final keyword usage, you can assign a very first value to I in a maybe second line. So as long as you assign value once to the keyword, it cannot be reassigned afterwards. So if I try and reassign later on, you will see the compiler will again complain with the same error. So this is how final keyword is used in a variable scope. Wherever you have a need of initializing variable just once, and then you do not want user by mistake or for wrong reason reassign new value to variable, just add final keyword in front of it. Now let's look at final keyword in a method scope. To explain that, I'm going to create two classes. Let's call one class A and the other class B. Now these are not appropriate names, but for our example purpose, it will be fine. I'm going to create a method in class A. Let's call that method print something. And all that method does is print out that I am in class A. If you understand inheritance concept, then you can extend class B with class A. So I'm going to do that. I'm extending class B with class A. So all the methods in class A would be available in class B. So if I create an object of class B in my main class, then you will notice that that object has this print something method available. And if I execute it, it will say I'm in class A. So I was exercising object of class B, but because we have extended class A, We also have the class A method available in that scope, and we could print it out. Let's say class B is the subclass and class A is a superclass, because class B is extending class A. But for some reason, we do not like the method print something because what it is printing. So in a current implementation, we are allowed to override that method by implementing the exact same signature method in class B. So if I implement similar method in class B and provide my own implementation, I can change that string to whatever I like. So in my example, I'm going to say hello from class B. So when we override the method from superclass, when we execute the subclass object, it will actually use the method from subclass, and that's why we are getting printed hello from class B. Now let's understand where final keyword is useful. So let's say you are the owner of class A and you are providing implementation which your colleagues are using and extending their own classes with. But we do not want anyone to override your methods because you think that method must always print that string and it is critical to the system. Then we should make our method final. So anyone extending class A with method final, they are not allowed to override the method by providing their own implementation. So as you can clearly see, the compiler is now complaining that because the original method was final, you cannot provide your own implementation and override this method. So for this code to execute, we must delete this method. So we are stuck with the original implementation which prints I'm in class A. So this is how final keyword is used for method, and whenever the method is final, no other class can override those methods. Now let's look at the final keyword from a class point of view. So with the same example, if I make the class final, no one is allowed to extend that class. So as you can see, that class B straight away have error saying the class B cannot be subclass of final class. So we must delete these keyword extend, and then it will be fine. At the same time, because now we can't extend that class, we don't have the print something method available either. So we must delete that as well. So the word final is, so the keyword final is used in the class scope, so that class cannot be extended by any other class. So now you guys know how to use final keyword for the scope of variable, methods, and Java. If you would like to continue learning about Java, then do not forget to subscribe to my channel and you will be notified when I post next video. See ya.